Learn to ignore her the right way. She will chase you like crazy. Modern Stoic. Love is not about possession. Love is about appreciation. Osho. You want her to notice you, to appreciate your presence, and to feel your absence. But here's the reality that many men miss: chasing only diminishes attraction. The more you chase, the less desirable you become. Constant availability, endless efforts, and predictable behavior do not ignite desire. They extinguish it. This isn't about playing games or using manipulation. It's about adopting a strategic mindset rooted in self-respect, emotional control, and quiet confidence. It's about learning how to effectively create space, not to punish, but to refocus on your own life and purpose. When you stop seeking constant validation and begin to lead with your own inner strength, everything changes. She feels the subtle shift in your energy. She senses the distance and the mystery. And suddenly, the dynamics shift. The chase becomes hers. Let's explore the real secret to igniting that spark. Number 1. The art of intentional distance. Don't disappear to punish her. Create space to reconnect with yourself. There's a powerful difference. Most men miss this entirely. It's not about playing mind games or pretending you don't care. It's about understanding that your time, energy, and presence are precious. When you understand your worth, you realize that sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to step back, embrace silence, and let your absence speak volumes. This isn't just about making her notice you more. It's about recognizing that your value doesn't come from seeking external validation. This is the blessing of Stoicism, the ability to remain calm, centered, and deliberate amidst the chaos. In moments when relationships shift and energy starts to wane, Stoicism doesn't urge you to cling or plead for attention. It encourages you to turn inward, to focus on your path, your purpose, your personal growth. Your worth is constant. It isn't defined by someone else's acknowledgement. It's already there, unwavering, even when it's hidden beneath the noise of trying to be noticed. Picture this: you've been texting her every day, initiating conversations, checking in. Lately, her replies are shorter, colder. The temptation to chase validation, to do more, hits you. But here's the truth: more effort often drives attraction away. So instead of chasing, pull back, not out of anger, but out of intention. Stop texting first. Stop proving yourself. Stop pouring into a cup that's empty. Go inward. Hit the gym. Dive into your work. Reconnect with the direction that's all about your growth, not hers. And what happens? She feels the shift. Suddenly, you're not always available. And that pulls her attention. She starts wondering, why isn't he reaching out? Has he moved on? That uncertainty stirs something deeper than mere attention could. It's no longer about keeping you, it's about not losing you. This is where the chase begins. Not because you manipulated her, but because you found your own center of gravity. The modern Stoic man walks away with peace, not bitterness, and commands the respect he deserves. That man is unforgettable. Intentional distance isn't a punishment. It's a return to your value, your balance, your inner strength. She may not see it at first, but space is where attraction thrives. When the dust settles, it's you she remembers. That is the true power of the old Stoic, a man who can stand strong, silent and unaffected. He's the one who leaves a lasting impression. Number 2, stop feeding her ego. Most men unknowingly become her emotional fuel. Every like, every quick reply, every anxious double text after she pulls away. They all send a message. You still have power over me. And this feeds her ego. It keeps her in control. She doesn't have to wonder how you feel because you've made it crystal clear. But here's the truth: the moment you stop feeding that loop, everything changes when you pull back, not with anger, not with spite, but with quiet self-respect. This subtle shift flips the dynamic entirely. Think about it. A woman who's always been showered with attention becomes numb to it. When she knows you'll always be there, she stops valuing your presence. But when you remove yourself calmly, without explanation, without drama, suddenly, she's left with space. And in that space, she starts to question, not just where you are, but why. For the first time, she's thinking about you more now than when you were showing up constantly. That's the power of restraint. A Stoic man doesn't seek validation through reaction. He doesn't need to be seen, liked, or praised to know his worth. He finds his strength in self-discipline. When he feels disrespected or overlooked, he doesn't yell, he doesn't beg. He simply withdraws his energy, calmly, firmly, not to create insecurity in her, but to protect his peace. This is where most men miss the mark. They think the goal is to constantly show her how much they care. But real strength is showing her that your world doesn't revolve around being chosen. It revolves around your purpose. The Stoic life is about grounding yourself in your own path. Here's a simple example. She stops putting in effort. Your gut says to win her back with reassurance. Maybe a sweet message, maybe a compliment, or maybe you reach out just to check in. But what if you didn't? What if you stayed grounded, kept your distance, focused on becoming better, not for her, but for yourself? That silence, it starts to weigh on her. Not because you're playing games, but because for the first time, you're not giving her the attention she took for granted. That's when the chase begins, because now she's unsure of where she stands with you. She's no longer in control. You've stepped out of the emotional tug-of-war, and that's what makes your presence powerful. She feels the absence of your energy because it was once freely given. Now, it's earned. This is the core of Stoicism. True strength is in knowing your worth and acting with intention, not in the chaos of constant validation. When you embody Stoic lessons, you don't bend to external forces. You remain steady, grounded, and self-aware. And that's what makes you unforgettable. If you're ready to stop feeding her ego and take control of your own life, drop a comment right now. I am the man who holds the power. Like this video. Subscribe for more unshakable wisdom and remind yourself daily. True strength lies in restraint, not in constant validation. Number 3, let your absence speak. A Stoic man knows the power of absence. Words can be manipulated, and presence can be ignored. But absence, true, deliberate absence, creates tension. It leaves questions that can't be easily answered. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, understood that not all responses require words. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. You don't disappear to play games or get revenge. You don't ghost to make a point. Instead, you pull back quietly, with intent, knowing when to withdraw your energy from someone who isn't matching your own. This is not weakness, it's strength. This is the Stoic principle in action. You don't betray yourself by desperately seeking validation. You respect yourself enough to walk away when it's necessary. And in doing so, you reclaim your power. When you stop being readily available, things change. The balance shifts. She feels the absence, and it creates a subtle but undeniable tension. The man who once replied instantly now takes his time. The one who used to chase her now simply remains still, not angry, not resentful, but centered. And this stillness, this absence, begins to echo in her mind. She starts to question. Why isn't he chasing? Has he lost interest? That space you've created forces her to reflect, to examine herself, her own actions, and her own feelings. This is how you master the art of ignoring her the right way, not out of malice, but out of self-respect. A man who follows Stoic principles doesn't scramble for attention or beg for answers. When faced with uncertainty, he returns to his center, to his focus, to the calm of his inner world. By doing so, he becomes magnetic, not by trying, but by simply no longer reaching. That's the power of Stoicism. We can't control others, but we control our actions, our discipline, and yes, our presence or absence. So let that absence speak. Let it speak volumes. Number 4, don't respond to emotional traps. She'll test you, withdraw to provoke you, stir up drama just to see if you'll bite. Sometimes it's unconscious, but it's real. One moment she's warm, the next, she's distant. A vague comment, a delayed reply, or an emotional outburst will seem to come from nowhere. And most men panic. They rush in, offering explanations, reassuring her, trying desperately to fix something they don't even fully understand. But here's the thing, that many miss: responding emotionally to her emotional games only proves that she's the one in control. When you let her pull you into the chaos, you lose the frame, and once the frame is lost, you lose everything. But you're different. You've learned, you stay calm. You let the moment pass. You don't rush in to fix what isn't yours to fix. Instead, you give it space. You observe. The man who masters his emotions controls the dynamic, and that's not a weakness. It's not cold, it's power. This is Stoicism, the blessing of Stoicism in its rawest form. The ability to feel it all and still choose your response, not from fear, not from ego, but from principle. Think about it. Imagine she suddenly goes cold. Her replies slow, her energy shifts. You sense it. Every part of you wants to reach out, to ask what's wrong, to close the gap. But instead, you pause. You focus on your purpose. You respect her space, keeping your dignity intact. In that silence, something profound happens. She notices. She wonders why you didn't chase, why you didn't crumble. Curiosity blooms. The seed is planted. Because most men would have folded, you didn't. This is how you ignore her the right way. Not with anger, not with passive-aggressive silence, but with poise. It's grounded energy. It's the quiet understanding that not every message deserves a reply. Not every test requires a response. When you act this way, you're not detached to manipulate. You're staying true to your values. Your presence, that unshaken core, speaks louder than any message or gesture could. So the next time you feel that urge to react, to defend yourself, to over-explain, take a breath, step back. Remember who you are, a man who doesn't get swept up in emotional chaos just to prove he cares. A man who shows his care by choosing peace over performance. That's the man she'll remember. That's the man she'll chase. Not because you ignored her, but because you knew when not to react. You were the modern Stoic embodying the principles of the old Stoic. And in that stillness, you became the one she couldn't resist. If you want to master your emotions and take control of the dynamic, stay calm and focused. Don't react to every emotional trap. Pause, observe, and choose your response. Comment below with peace over performance always. If you found this valuable, like, share, and subscribe for more insights on mastering Stoic power in relationships. Number 5. Invest in your empire. When you ignore her, don't think for a second you're doing nothing. On the contrary, you're doing everything. You're taking your precious energy and attention off what you can't control, her moods, her messages, her approval, and focusing it where it belongs on you. This isn't some juvenile game or a manipulative tactic to get her to chase you. This is about respecting your time, your focus, your energy, resources that should be guarded with the highest regard. You must realize this when a Stoic man redirects his attention toward his own empire, his health, his purpose, his growth. He's not just becoming harder to reach. He becomes unforgettable, magnetic, and that's what you want. You want to become a force that pulls others in, not by desperate attempts to prove yourself, but by your steady, undeniable presence. Most men fall victim to the trap of chasing. They spend their energy explaining themselves, proving their worth, and constantly seeking validation. What happens when they do this? They lose their center. They lose the edge that made them attractive in the first place. And once that's gone, it's hard to get back. But here's the truth: when you pull back with intention, when you stop feeding her ego and instead feed your own goals, everything shifts. Instead of obsessing over her silence, you learn to embrace the space to build something greater. You don't react to her absence. You thrive in it. That's what a man of discipline does. A man of Stoicism sees emotional pullbacks, not as rejection, but as redirection. Redirection toward something much more important. Toward the gym, toward mastering your craft, toward leveling up mentally, physically, and financially. Imagine this scenario. She stops reaching out like she used to, and again, what do? Don't sit there overthinking it. Don't draft up that long text trying to fix everything. Get up, hit a new PR at the gym, complete that project you've been procrastinating on. Schedule time with your mentors. Do something that moves you forward in your life, that builds your future. This is the essence of Stoicism. Control your inner state and channel your focus to create a life so rich in purpose that her absence doesn't feel like a punishment. Instead, it feels like an opportunity for growth. And that's when you start to see her energy shift. She goes from pulling back to checking in, from ignoring you to noticing you. Why? Because you stopped orbiting her world and started building your own. Stoicism teaches us not to waste time arguing with what's beyond our control. Don't waste your precious moments chasing someone who's uncertain. Instead, focus on controlling your inner state and shaping your environment. Build a life so rich in meaning, so full of purpose, that her absence no longer stings. In fact, it becomes the perfect space for expansion. And that expansion, she will feel it. Not the silence, but the shift in your presence. She'll sense that you are no longer waiting for her to make your life complete. You are already complete. You're rising, quietly, powerfully, and soon enough, she'll chase you. Not because you ignored her, but because you became the man who no longer needs to be chased. That, brother, is the turning point. When you stop measuring your worth by her attention and start investing in the man you are becoming, everything changes. Remember this: she's not drawn to the man who waits. She's drawn to the man who moves, the man who builds, the man who has a purpose. This is a Stoic lesson for the ages. Live with discipline, focus, and purpose, and watch everything else fall into place. Number 6, subtle detachment, not coldness. Learn to ignore her the right way and watch her chase you like crazy. The secret lies in mastering the art of subtle detachment, not coldness. You are not stone. You are centered. Your actions are deliberate and purposeful. You respond when it's right, not out of desperation or need. You are kind, but not needy. You are warm, but unavailable. This creates a powerful mystery around you, one that keeps her wondering long after the conversation ends. Understand, this detachment is not cruelty. It's the Stoic principle in practice. A true Stoic man, as Marcus Aurelius would say, knows that not every emotion must be expressed and not every woman deserves access to his energy. Detachment isn't about punishing her or playing games. It's about maintaining your own peace, your own center. Coldness, on the other hand, stems from pain, bitterness, or a desire to get back at her. That's not the path of a true man of strength. True detachment comes from knowing your worth and protecting your energy. When you pull back to preserve your balance, it shifts the dynamic in a way that's magnetic. If she senses you're emotionally clinging or chasing her approval, she'll pull away. Attraction fades when attention becomes too available. When she becomes distant, don't panic, don't double text, beg for validation, or throw out compliments. This is emotional neediness, and it kills attraction. Instead, a man who practices subtle detachment refocuses on his own life. He goes back to his mission, his self-discipline, his growth. He doesn't let her inconsistency dictate his mood. He responds calmly, when appropriate, but never chases clarity from someone who is playing unclear. Here's what happens next. She notices the difference. She feels the shift in your energy. Your absence speaks volumes. You no longer wait for her cues or emotionally invest in a one-sided game. The result, she begins to question what happened. She starts to wonder if she misjudged you. Your presence, now more valuable and scarce, becomes magnetic. Don't confuse detachment with aloofness. Be warm when it's deserved. Be present when it's mutual. But above all, protect your space. Protect your inner peace like a man who knows his worth. When you stop chasing, you'll realize that she starts to chase you. It's not about trying to impress her, it's about mastering your own strength. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So choose to center yourself, protect your energy, let her come to you. If you've made it this far, you understand the power of emotional detachment. It's not about being cold, it's about mastering your own energy and choosing when to engage. Comment below with "I choose strength over neediness" if you're ready to embrace the Stoic mindset and stop chasing. Number 7, give her room to feel the loss. Don't be that guy who's always available, constantly checking in, reassuring her, or seeking validation. You must understand, when you're always around, you don't give her the chance to miss you. It's like you're a background noise she's too familiar with, never realizing your absence because you've never allowed it. The real power lies in stepping back, pulling your energy, and letting the universe take care of the rest. Sometimes, the most potent weapon in a man's arsenal is the quiet discipline of disappearing. Think of Marcus Aurelius. He didn't react, he didn't chase. He stood as the rock, unmoved by the crashing waves. Be like that rock, not cold, not distant, but steadfast and grounded. You are a modern Stoic, embodying the blessing of Stoicism in every action you take. Don't let her comfort zone rely on your constant presence. Make her earn it. You're not retreating out of anger or frustration. You're simply prioritizing yourself, putting your energy into what matters, your mission, your goals, your peace. That is the essence of the old Stoic philosophy: control yourself, and don't let your emotions be swayed by external factors. When you withdraw with purpose and calm, she begins to feel the void, the absence. That's when she notices the shift in your energy and realizes something is different. You don't need to play mind games, post cryptic stories, or make her wonder. Just pull back and focus on what makes you a better man, one who is constantly improving and who isn't emotionally dependent. It's all about emotional mastery. When she senses that you're not begging, not chasing, not explaining yourself, when your attention is no longer something she can take for granted, that's when you truly start to shift the dynamic. She starts to chase, not because you told her to, but because she feels it. She has to earn your attention now. And that's when she sees your value, not because you told her, but because you showed her through the quiet strength you project. You, my friend, are living the Stoic way, and this is how you make her chase you the right way. Number 8, be selectively unavailable. Don't waste your energy explaining your distance. You must live a life that keeps you in constant motion, a life that revolves around building something real, your body, your mindset, your empire. You're not sitting around waiting for her texts, your phone buzzing endlessly. That's not how Stoic life works. Too many men make the mistake of thinking attention equals affection. So they give and give, hoping for a response. They end up drained, seeking signs, waiting for validation. But here's the truth. When your attention is always available, it loses its value. What you give too freely is never truly appreciated. That's why learning to ignore her the right way isn't about coldness, it's about clarity. You're not punishing her, not playing games. You're becoming a man whose life doesn't revolve around whether she replies or not. You become selectively unavailable, not out of spite, but because your focus is elsewhere. You're not avoiding her, but you're not chasing her either. And that subtle distinction, that's everything. When you no longer feel the need to explain your silence, when you don't rush to respond immediately, she begins to wonder. And that wondering turns into curiosity, then desire, then pursuit. This is the Stoic lesson in action. As Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be willing to be misunderstood. Be content to be thought foolish in the eyes of others, especially when it comes to external matters. You don't need approval for your growth. The more you focus on your mission, the less you depend on her validation, and ironically, the more she's drawn to your presence. Selective unavailability isn't about creating silence for attention. It's about discipline in action. It's choosing to protect your energy rather than spilling it trying to prove your worth. When you master this, you'll notice something powerful. She will start chasing the version of you that's no longer available on her terms. Not because you've ghosted her, but because you've grown. So, if you're feeling tempted to chase her today, pause and ask yourself, is my time being used to honor the man I am becoming? If the answer is no, then pull back. Not to punish her, but to evolve. Let her feel the absence of the man who once gave without question. That's when you stop being an option and start becoming the one she never thought she could lose. Take a moment to reflect. What version of yourself are you feeding with your energy right now? Are you pouring it into validation? Or are you feeding your vision that shift alone can change everything? It's time to step fully into yourself, not seeking permission from anyone. The Stoic lessons you practice every day will ensure that you don't just step back from her. You step forward into a version of yourself that she can't resist. Number 9, let time build the tension. In a world where instant responses are the norm, true power lies in restraint. You must learn to master the art of delay, to build tension through time. Quick replies may create comfort, but it's the delayed response that sparks curiosity. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, understood the power of patience and detachment. He said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This applies to your attention as well. When you constantly rush to meet expectations, you lose your presence. You become reactive, predictable, and ultimately forgettable. But when you slow down, when you choose not to respond immediately, you create space. that silence becomes deafening. She starts to wonder, to question, and to replay every word. You haven't ghosted her. You've simply refused to be a slave to every impulse, every notification. Instead, you've chosen to live on your own terms, according to your rhythm. The moment you delay your response as she feels it, the comfort and certainty she once had began to erode. Curiosity replaces certainty, and curiosity is magnetic. A Stoic man doesn't manipulate through delay, he simply refuses to be controlled by external forces. He remains grounded, rooted in his own reality, unaffected by the noise of the world around him. When you can embody this Stoic principle, you become unforgettable. Your presence is felt even when you're not around, and your calm confidence speaks louder than any rushed reply ever could. You must understand this time, when used wisely, becomes your greatest ally. Let her wonder, let her chase you. But remember, you're not chasing, you're choosing. You hold the power, live with purpose, embrace patience, and make her earn your attention. You are the master of your own timeline, and that is the true path to attraction. If you found this valuable, like, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit from this wisdom. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on mastering life and relationships. Comment below to affirm, I am in control of my timing, and I create my own rhythm. Let's build this powerful mindset together. Number 10. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is not an absence, it's a message. When you choose silence, you're sending a signal louder than any words could. You're not like the others. You're not desperate for attention or validation. You're disciplined, grounded in the blessing of Stoicism, and that's the strength women remember. They don't forget the man who made them feel uncertain, not through games or mind tricks, but through a calm, quiet power they couldn't reach or control. The old Stoic understood this well. True strength doesn't need to announce itself. It's felt in the silence. A modern Stoic knows this too. Silence is never passive. It's a deliberate choice to let your presence be known without saying a word. It's the kind of silence that shifts the energy in a room, leaving a lasting impression that no sweet text could ever match. When you ignore her the right way, it's not because you don't care, it's because you understand the value of your own energy. Most men, when a woman grows distant, scramble. They apologize, chase, and try to fill every gap with desperate reassurances. Not you. A Stoic man steps back. He allows the space between you to grow, not as a punishment, but as a way to preserve his peace. The silence creates tension, a tension that women aren't prepared for, and that's where the magic happens. Imagine you're with a woman who begins taking you for granted. She's less affectionate, maybe even cold. The average guy would confront her emotionally, make a scene, beg for her attention. But a modern Stoic man knows better. He simply acknowledges the shift, steps back, and refocuses on his own path. No drama, no emotional outbursts, just a quiet redirection back to his purpose. This shift in behavior is what makes him stronger. His silence is not weakness, it's a reflection of his standards. And believe me, she notices. She starts to feel the change, and that awareness starts to haunt her. Silence from a man who once showed care speaks volumes. It's louder than any argument, more piercing than anger. It's a space filled with meaning, a void that leaves her questioning what shifted, what she lost, and how she can get it back. And that's when the chase begins, not because you played games, but because you removed the comfort she took for granted, and you did it with composure. Choosing silence, real silence, isn't about avoiding confrontation. It's about preserving your inner peace and letting reality do the heavy lifting. You don't need to manipulate or provoke. The blessing of Stoicism teaches us to be still, to let actions speak for us. When you choose to ignore her the right way, make sure that silence is rooted in strength, not in pain. She'll feel it, and that feeling is what will make you unforgettable. Number 11, she chases what she can't predict. Here's the truth: women don't chase what's always available. If you're predictable, you're boring. Women chase what keeps them on their toes. They chase the feeling, the thrill, the curiosity, the uncertainty. It's not just about feeling loved, it's about feeling intrigued, challenged, and yes, even a little off balance. This tension, this emotional push and pull, is what sparks desire. When you're always available, always ready with an answer, always reacting to her, what does she feel? Not much. The key here is to stop playing the part of the always there guy. When you remain calm, unreadable, and grounded in your own life, that's when she feels everything. Now, this is where ignoring her the right way comes into play. It's not about playing games. It's not about being petty or putting her down. You're doing it from a place of strength, discipline, and inner peace. You know that by chasing her, you only dilute your own value. This isn't about your ego. This is about staying in control of your own life and letting her feel the weight of your absence. A Stoic man understands that desire often grows in uncertainty. A Stoic life isn't about playing games or creating drama. It's about mastering your impulses, maintaining calm amidst the chaos, and living by principles. So when she pulls away, or when she acts cold or confusing, you don't chase after her like most men do. You stand still. You remain composed. You don't need to explain your silence, your absence. You let her sit in that uncertainty. That is what makes you unpredictable. And unpredictability is a powerful tool. The moment you stop reacting to her every move, you stop being the man she can read like a book. Instead, you become the man she can't quite figure out. Imagine this. She's used to you replying within minutes. She posts something on social media, and you always respond. One day, you don't. Not because you're playing a game, but because your focus has shifted. You're working, you're training, you're reflecting. And she notices. Even if she doesn't admit it, the rhythm she once predicted is no longer there. That unpredictability. That's what triggers her curiosity. Now she's thinking, what's going on with him? What's he doing? Is he thinking about me? That emotional curiosity becomes fuel. Your absence makes her feel your presence more than ever. Not because you chased her, but because you didn't. You became the unknown. The one man who didn't react like everyone else. She'll start chasing you, not out of logic, but out of an emotional need to resolve the tension you've created in her mind. The Stoics believe that true peace comes from mastering your impulses. In this situation, you master the impulse to chase after her when she pulls away. Instead, you stay steady and calm, focused on your own life and your own goals. You want her to chase you, but not because you've played some game. You want her to chase you because you've become the man who can withhold his attention with purpose. The man who's not easily predictable. The man whose calm, deliberate presence shakes her more than any words ever could. So, don't be the man she can read like an open book. Be the man who keeps her guessing. Be the one she can't quite figure out. Be the Stoic man who has mastered his emotions and desires. And watch as she starts chasing you. Not because you chased her, but because you knew how to hold back. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to control ourselves, not the world around us. And when you let her experience the uncertainty of your absence, you give her the space to desire you in a way that no other man can. That's the power of a Stoic life. All right, brother, let's wrap this up. Remember, ignoring her the right way isn't about playing games or holding grudges. It's about reclaiming your self-respect. The man who steps back, not out of ego, but from a place of principle, becomes unforgettable. By putting your focus back on your mission, on your own growth, you'll shift the dynamic and she'll start seeing you in a whole new light. And most importantly, don't do this to manipulate feelings. Do it because you finally remembered your worth. Your time is precious. Your presence is earned. And when your actions come from strength, silence becomes more powerful than words. If you're struggling to know whether you're acting from strength or fear, just take a moment. Breathe. Pause. This is your moment to build your empire, not chase after hers. That shift is what changes everything. If this video resonated with you, if it helped you see the power in who you really are, let me know in the comments below. What part hit you the hardest? And if you found value in this, hit that like button. It helps spread the word and bring this message to more men out there. Check out the other videos on screen. They'll dive even deeper into mastering your emotions, presence, and purpose. Stay grounded, brothers. You've got this. I'll see you in the next video.